Hello, here we are today in my car and I've got iOplay installed in my car. This is the iOplay control console. In my car with me today I've got my mobile telephone. I've also got my portable sat nav. I'm just going to start the engine of my car. You can hear my radio from my car is just coming to play as you would normally expect it to do. And you'll notice as well that the telephone here has automatically connected and paired to iOplay for hands-free calls, and my portable sat-nav has also connected itself to iOplay. This sat-nav has a feature called Bluetooth for external speaker, which basically means any audio that the sat-nav pushes out can be pushed across the Bluetooth stereo channel to a receiving kit like my iOplay. So I've actually got some music stored in my sat-nav, and I'd like to play it into all of the speakers in my car through iOplay, which I'm going to select a track now, and iOplay will switch across to my sat-nav, as you can see here, and I'm now streaming music from my sat-nav into all of the speakers of my car across the Bluetooth stereo channel. So the sound quality is fantastic. Volume control up, volume control down here as well. Let's say as well that I'm using my sat-nav to get to my destination. So should I receive a voice command whilst connected to the kit, those voice commands...
After 300 meters, you have reached your destination.
Those voice commands are coming through all the speakers in my car. But let's say I don't want to listen to music in my portable sat-nav. I'd actually like to listen to my radio and at the same time still receive my voice commands from my sat-nav into the car. So I've just stopped the music on the sat-nav now, and the radio of my car's come back into play. So now, when I receive a voice command from my sat-nav,
After 300 meters, you have reached your destination.
iOplay switches out the radio, brings the voice command into play, and once the command is finished, brings the radio back for me. A complete seamless experience. Now let's not forget as well that I've actually got my mobile phone connected here as well for making and receiving telephone calls. So if I should receive a telephone call whilst driving, I can simulate that here by pressing and holding the green telephone icon button, dialing last number.
Calling credit.
That's my mobile phone in play now. And at the end of the telephone call, either the radio, if that's what I was listening to, or the sat-nav voice commands and or music will then be automatically switched back into play for me, as you can hear there. There are a couple of other features that iOplay provide me whilst I'm in a hands-free call, and that's call secrecy. With call secrecy, a quick push on this button whilst I'm in a phone call puts 2 beeps on the line every 3 seconds to tell me that the caller now can't hear me, but I can hear the caller, until I push this button again, and then the caller can hear me. A long push on this button basically transfers the call from the car speakers to my handset for call privacy, and a push here again will then transfer from the phone back into the car. So just to summarise for you there, iOplay is providing a complete solution for my mobile telephone calls and my portable sat-nav requirements. And as I said earlier, this portable sat-nav has the Bluetooth for external speaker function. Basically means any audio in this sat-nav can be pushed across the Bluetooth stereo channel and received, in this case by iOplay.